Hello and welcome to Let's Play Lair of the Evildoer Part 9, the final part. We're going to finish it this time, and I know because I've already done it. Unfortunately, it didn't record my voice. Oh dear. So I'm having to do the voiceover after the fact, watching the video back, which means, well, it gives me a bit of a problem, if I'm honest. The game, for like the past 4 videos, has been a bit repetitive and a bit hard to talk about when I'm playing it. So it was hard enough finding things to say for the whole playthrough while I was playing it. And now I have to watch myself playing it again and figure out what to say for half an hour. Oh god, it's tricky. Oh, right. My main complaint, as you know, has been all the immune to projectiles enemies. Oh look, there's one more. He won't be the last we come across. It's so frustrating. Yeah, oh blimey. This game, man, this game. It's been fun enough to play. You know, it's an okay dungeon crawler type thing, I guess. You know, quite Diablo. Ooh, level up time. What am I going to do? Well, I kind of am going to try and put a point in strength, because maybe it will help with all those enemies that, you know, like, have to be hit with non-projectiles. Oh wait, it only improves it by 1 point of damage. Not really much point now, is there? But yeah, there's quite a lot of enemies on this level. That's on every level, but even more so. Oh god, I've done 2 minutes and I've run out of things to say. This is no good. Let me drink some tea, that'll get some time. The thing is, right, on this, see, I'm taking out the explosive guy first in the hope that he's going to take out everyone, and yes, he does. And this video, this level, is probably the first time throughout almost the whole playthrough that I've actually started to think tactically about how to use the explosive enemies and like explosive barrels. And I've had to, because there's so many enemies on this level in particular, but on all the previous levels, that are just immune to your guns. And in a game that's all about guns, that's terrible. So you have to really start thinking about ways. See, like there, you've got that nibbler who's immune, but because he's in front of the other enemy, that means I can't shoot him either. So luckily my hammer's pretty strong at this point, not too much of a problem. Taking a bit too much damage from all these explosive enemies, especially the explosive enemies that I have to hit with my melee weapon. Oh dear. Oh god, right. Oh, another zombie partner. Very exciting, as I'm sure you are. In fact, you know, maybe I should just nap for a bit while you watch the rest of this video. You could just wake me up when we get to the ground floor. Oh no, that'd be bad form. Oh gosh. So anyway, this game, it's honestly it's pretty fun. You know, it's not bad. It's fairly mindless. I think if I wasn't commentating, I would probably have enjoyed it all the way through. But as it is, like this guy, well, I'm taking ages to kill him because I just have to keep running away, running back, hitting him, running away, running back, hitting him. And, you know, I honestly think if I'd done this, I really should have just, you know, chosen to ignore enemies that are like that, you know, just run past them. But I really wanted to 100% it to take down everything I came across. Which, to be fair, you know, in an RPG like this, you need the experience points. You have to do it that way. But I probably would have skipped a few more if I'd done this over again. One thing I will say about this game, because, you know, these kind of Diablo games, they can be really fun. You know, I mean, there's a reason why, you know, Diablo 3 is coming out and everyone's getting so excited about it. Those kind of games are good. It's a good, you know, it's the perfect mix of sort of action game with RPG elements. You know, it's the perfect mix of you know, being able to play a game for 10 or 20 minutes to a quest, or you know, but being able to come back for years on end to keep getting more equipment and improving your character, which is wonderful. But if there's nothing more to it, and especially in this where there's no multiplayer component, there's no real reason to keep upgrading your character. You know, I mean, at this point, I haven't died once. There's nothing in the game that scares me as such. I mean, okay, I've let this guy hit me twice because I don't think I'd ever seen the animation of them hitting me before. It might have happened, but I didn't notice. And I was kind of fascinated with this just one static frame. You know, it looks so weird and sort of out of place, but, oh gosh, what was I saying? But yeah, if this had a perk system, you know, if this had, you know, different skill trees, you know, and I'll come out and say, if this game didn't have, enemies that required you to hit them melee-wise, I think it would have been really brilliant. As it is, it's a fun diversion. You know, I'd say give it a go. But yeah, there's not really much to say. It's so infuriating. Oh well, right. So I'm back in the entrance room now. Basically gone around a big circle. So that whole area was fundamentally pointless. But that's just the nature of this kind of game. You've got these whole, you know, maze-like areas. You don't really know what you're going to find. And even if there's nothing really there, hey, you know, maybe you'll get a new gun out of it. As it is, I I got some experience points. You know, filled up my experience bar halfway since the last level up, so that's not bad. Oh god, it's no good. I can't do it. How am I gonna? We're less than 7 minutes into this video. I mean, let's calculate at some point. Now, I'm not even a quarter of the way. And what do I talk about? This game has nothing to talk about. You've seen it. You know what this game's about. You've seen 8 videos of me doing this exact thing. Of me walking around corridors that look almost exactly the same and shooting the same kind of weapons at the same kind of enemies who take almost the same amount of attacks to kill. And the only real difference is the number that are immune to being shot, which I'll never ever as long as I'm playing this game, which to be fair isn't going to be for much longer, never going to stop whining about. And if you play this game, you'll think the same. You will. There's just no way you can't get frustrated by it. Oh, by the way, the boss on this game, kind of anticlimactic, just to really set you up. You know, if you just want to stop watching the video now, I won't blame you. I won't. There's no real special thing at the end. The ending's pretty terrible. The final boss is pretty dull. There's nothing really that exciting that I'm going to do or say. Oh gosh. I don't know. I kind of wish I'd done this in a different way. A lot of my Let's Plays, you know, like Discworld and like Prophecy 1: The Viking Child and things like that. I like to show it all in one go. Generally, I like you to see everything I do, so you know it's legitimate. So you know that I've solved the puzzles genuinely, and so that I've, you know, so that you could basically follow it through and do it the same way if you wanted. And I fuzzed that a little bit on this and with Mass Effect, where if I need to go backwards somewhere, then I'll just cut a section of video out while I walk around. But, you know, I mean, that's just for convenience sake. No one needs to see me run around for a while. But with this one, honestly, I think I should have gone further. I think I should have actually basically cut it down to when I faced particularly nasty enemies or got interesting new weapons or that kind of thing. I think the best way for this Let's Play to have been done would probably been like an hour or an hour and a half, you know, of the highlights, because there's just so little to add. These kind of enemies, honestly, are probably the most exciting you face in the game, because they're the only ones you really have to think tactically about how to deal with. They're protected from the front. They've got pretty strong weaponry. Facing them in close quarters like this is really difficult, because you can't really swing around them to get them at the angle you want. So yeah, it's everyone else just runs at you. They just come straight at you. Oh god. I'm so sorry. I think I might cut here and then jump to the other door. Let's see. Yep, that's where I did that. Oh, there you are. Oh man. These explosive enemies, I'm glad that they show up as much as they do later on. Because apart from melee, they're pretty much the only way to legitimately damage enemies that don't take damage from projectiles. Honestly, if there had been... Oh, like this guy... the thing is, when you combine them both like this, explosive and immune to projectiles, it's the worst combination. It really is, because you're essentially sentencing yourself to lose life and take a long time doing it. I'm trying to remember. I think my plan here was to lure him into the corridor and hopefully an explosive enemy or barrel would come across that I could get him with, and unfortunately it didn't really work out that way. So I wind up just taking out with my my hammer. Oh god. Oh dear. I am such an unprofessional person. In my defense, I got through this video the first time, you know, without yawning once. It's just a shame that none of the dialogue got recorded. It was such a stupid thing as well. It's just that my preamp, basically, connecting like a proper microphone to a PC through the line-in slot is a lot trickier than you might imagine. So I've got this setup where I've got a little mixing board that I can connect up to 4 like microphones to, as you know, as in proper microphones, not desktop, you know, mics that go to the 3.5mm jack, but you know, proper sort of active microphones. You know, I can connect pretty much anything up there. I can connect musical instruments, whatever. So I've got a little mixing board that lets me connect 4 of those up. Then that goes, but the PC can't use that directly. So then that has to go into a preamp, which you can connect 2 things to, and then that sort of amplifies the signal, gets power to it, and then pushes that out to the PC through, you know, the line-in jack. So there's probably about £100 worth of tech just to get my voice to the PC, and it can't do it reliably. All that happened was that one of the power cables, the power cable to the preamp had come loose. So yeah, so that's why you're hearing me yawn all over the video instead of talk about what I'm doing, which is just shooting stuff. It's just shooting stuff, same as before. These Vroombies, I started to get really worried about them about this point, because I mean, last few videos I've kind of been ignoring them. They didn't seem all that threatening, and then on this one, I mean, one got me down to, well, almost killed me, you know. I mean, until a few seconds ago I was you know, just getting up to half health. I had a real struggle in this room, as you're about to see, because we've got a few nibblers around, but the main issue is we've got 2 turrets sort of inside. There's actually another one further to the left. Then we've got this this guy here, and to make matters worse, well, I'm trying to decide if to get that weapon. I think eventually I do, but not until after I've beaten this guy. But he's immune to projectiles, so that means he's going to take ages, which is why I'd say take some time and check what's in those. Yeah, that's a good gun. Let's have it. So I'm trying to lure him out into the open where I can really attack him, but then, you know, I've got this killbot at me, I've got these turrets after me that are also immune to projectiles, so I can't take that one down, and that one's sort of spraying fire at me every time I'm going for the Devastator. So I wind up sort of, well, you'll see I'm sort of trying to take the Devastator out, but also get rid of the turret, because it's really getting to be more than I can handle. But if I go too far to the left, then I start getting the other turret after me as well, and it's such a pain. So yeah, so that's out. Devastator almost dead anyway, so that wasn't as much trouble as I thought. And then of course we get to this other turret, which, oh, do I change there? No, I don't. Yes, I do. I change to the other one, because it does more damage per second, even if it's firing a bit slower. No, that's no good. So like I said, this turret is immune to projectiles and it's explosive because it's a turret, obviously. So my cunning plan is to hit the turret down to almost dead, and then run away, run up the top, and shoot. Oh yeah, then there's that other turret I take out because it's annoying me. And then hit the explosive barrel. But as you can see, I mess it up and just wind up blowing myself up, which means I've got to hit that with my melee and blow myself up twice, and then lose some health. And luckily I didn't lose too much, but and there's nothing there. You know, it was. I got a little bit of experience points. That was. I must have spent what, 5 minutes in that room, maybe, and it totally wasn't worth it. I mean, I got a better pistol out of it, I guess. But I probably didn't need to kill the enemies to get that. I could have just taken the damage and moved on. And that's the other thing about this kind of game. With something like Diablo, because you've got the inventory system and the shops that you can sell items back to and all this kind of stuff, even if you go somewhere and there's nothing really there you want, it's okay, because you're still improving your character, you're still getting money, you're still getting health potions, you're still getting items that you can sell or break down. But in this, if you go in a room and there's nothing there you want, then it was just a waste of time. And so it just drags the whole game down. The game drags the game down, which is quite a phenomenal thing when you think about it. Oh dear. I mean, like, if there was a perk system, imagine if sort of you got to level 5 or level 10 and you could, you know, have your mouse cursor over a chest and get a preview of what was in it, or just a grayed out version of the map so you could kind of see, or even, you know what, just chests as blips on the radar on the minimap, so you could see, you know, if you're going in a particular direction, if there's liable to be anything there. Even if you didn't actually really change your behaviour. Oh, much better weight, Sledgehammer. I couldn't really believe it. And then I saw the player speed 20%, and I thought, oh, it's going to slow me down by 20%. No. It's increasing my speed by 1/5, which is even better than the last one. So this is just an awesome upgrade. It really helped on some of the enemies that take melee damage, because I don't think I really had much trouble with that anymore after this point, because it's not like a staggeringly better, you know, staggeringly stronger weapon, but the main advantage it's got is just because you can run faster. It's much easier to hit, you know, the devastators in the back and avoid the shields and things like that. So it was just very beneficial. And I think that's pretty much it for upgrades now. I think that's, you know, the pistol and the mallet I'm going to use for the rest of the game. Oh, I say that about melee and I forgot about these guys. So I had these 2 Vroombies at me. He's immune to projectiles. I'm already scared of Vroombies from earlier on. And because, I mean, for example, you've noticed that if enemies glow red, it means they're explosive. So at this point, I remember I was thinking that because they're both glowing green, that probably means they're both immune to projectiles. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm trying to take it slow here and take them on one at a time, because I'm you know, I'm already down to half health from this guy. You know, I'm worried. You know, I've got kind of a system here. He's blocked on the corner. It's not too bad. Had a big temptation here to up my defense or something like that, but no, damage is the way forward. It's always the way forward. Do you know, it occurs to me I probably could have maxed out my dexterity by that point if I'd put everything into it. But then again, I would have died several times when my health got low. Yeah, and then I go to attack him. It turns out he just has, I've just noticed, double extra health. I actually didn't realise that until when I was playing it originally. But yeah, he was taking ages to kill. So he was actually in more trouble than the first one, even though he's not immune to projectiles. Bizarre. Although that was partly my cockiness because of that. It was like, ooh, he's not immune to projectiles. I'll just run up and shoot him. And then he like takes 50 shots. Everyone else, you can see now my damage is, you know, because I've got the new pistol, I've just put some more damage upgrades. Everything else is dying in 2-3 shots at this point. It's brilliant. So we've got the whole other corridor up there, and I was thinking that I was going the wrong way and it was going to be a dead end, and that was essentially the corridor leading to the final floor. Especially when I saw that computer, because the last few levels have all had one room off in the middle of nowhere which just had a computer and with a really lame joke. And that was about it, and so I thought that's what was going to happen here. This bit is quite clever because I can see that devastator there, and I'm thinking, okay, I can do something clever here. So I fired that second shot off a bit early, but I did manage to damage a little bit with that explosive barrel, which I was quite proud of. Again, like I said, I was starting to think more tactically here about how to use you know, the cover and the explosives. One thing I never found out, and I really should have experimented with this more, is whether the rocket launcher explosive like damage counts as projectile. I presume it does, because it kind of cheapen that effect if there was one weapon you could have that it didn't apply to. But you know, at the same time, if you can use that weapon and shoot a non-projectile... Oh, I closed that door by accident. I go back to open it, and then I think, no, that's a waste of time. So then I go back without opening it, which is actually another waste of time, because I might as well have opened it once I was over there. So, it doesn't matter. I don't think I'll go for it in the end. Oh, no, I do. I go back here and realise, hey, that's it. I've done the whole map. Brilliant. I can get out of here. And you're probably thinking I'm going to say, but no, it really is. I'm done with this. So there's only one level left, the final boss level, the ground floor. Oh yeah, and at this point, I think that the default name for the character is Gertrude. And so it starts, you know, it starts referring to me as that. The rest of the time it's been calling me Adrian, and that's a bit of a glitch, and you'll actually see the glitch itself at the end of the video. It's pretty blatant. It was really confusing. I thought it was some kind of big reveal that I'd never heard the name before, and it was only when I saw the glitch kind of resolve itself that I realised no, it's just messed up. I am meant to be called Adrian. I could have killed this guy much quicker if I'd known sort of the trick, which you'll see soon. As it is, yeah, this guy, it's not too difficult. Basically for this section, he's just going to keep bringing waves of enemies, which kind of get stronger and stronger, sort of closer to the enemies you fight later and later in the game. And honestly, you know, it wasn't too bad a boss battle, but at the same time, where's the boss? You know, what does he do? And you know, spoiler alert, he does nothing. He literally just, you know, you'll fight a few waves of enemies, and then he'll turn up and let you get a shot at him, and that's it. And then he'll disappear and spawn some more enemies. So like now he's on there somewhere. Don't know where he is. Looking around. Oh, there he is. Oh, I didn't see him spawn on the screen actually when I was playing it, which I'm running around. So you shoot him and then he disappears and spawns more enemies. Now because of that, because he only keeps spawning like once at a time, you only get one shot on him. And it isn't one of these bosses where, you know, you shoot him 3 times and he dies. You shoot him 5 times, he dies, whatever. He has got health bar actually, and I realised this sort of after that first shot, or maybe after the second. And start using my rocket launcher instead. So, like, one rocket launcher shot almost kills him. And if I'd realised that, I could have, you know, basically I could have killed him now. This could have been the end, but because I'd wasted that first shot and just a handgun shot, so it barely hurt him. So actually that looked like he did quite a bit of damage. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does just take 3 hits. Well, if that's the case, then that's really stupid. Because it ends really it felt like a real anticlimax. Here you've got these 2 of those bosses from earlier in the game that we never saw again. So you've got, you know, a boss battle halfway through the game, and that's it until the very finish. But they're so easy to kill now because they haven't been powered up to take into account the fact that I've leveled up so much since then. It's just they assume, oh well, there's 2 of them now. Surely that's going to be enough. No, it's really not. Actually, the skeleton archers were annoying me more. And I kept getting distracted taking them out. Honestly, they were doing such little damage, I might as well just ignored them and carried on going for the Devastator, but oh well. So yeah, there we go. Zumba's down, Skeleton Archer's down, Devastated Prime is about to follow. I think I checked that pistol, because I'm still looking for upgrades, because, you know, I'm thinking, oh, things are going to crack off. But they don't, really. So here he is, Rocket Launcher. Are you ready for the anticlimax? There you go. He's dead. That's it. That was the final boss. Wasn't that exciting? And the thing is, even if the boss himself had been tougher if he, if he'd done big attacks and things. Because you keep summoning all those waves of weak enemies, that means that very early on, you can see that the floor's littered in med packs. They're all over the place. So you wouldn't really be in any danger anyway. So I don't really know what that's about. Anyway, here I go. I try and leave, somehow mess up, and then I have a cunning plan. Honestly, I wouldn't really have had problems anyway, but I'm kind of thinking, hey, can I use the rocket launcher to propel myself along quicker? And the answer is yes, I can. So it doesn't auto-reload after the first 2 shots there for some reason. But there we go. So I get to you nice and quickly, 20 seconds basically. Would have taken me an extra 10 if I'd just walked, so you're not going to run out of time. And then just a black screen for a while. Takes ages. Alright, and here's the big twist ending. He's still alive. Oh, and he's going to be watching me. Oh, gosh. What's gosh? Oh, gosh. Subject Gertrude and status suspended further opposite. And then it's like, oh, wait, no, that's not his name. There we go, Adrian, thank you. And yeah, that's the ending. There you go. That was what this was all building up to. That's what these 8 videos were for. It was for that. There you go. And here's the credits. And you've just got the sign to shake it is this there. And yes. I actually want to see who's responsible, if there's someone on here that's responsible for animation. So Ben Kane did the design programming and art, which is a lot. Who else we got? Addition of technology already? Really? Storage? Was this made by one guy? Was Ben Kane the only guy? Because if that's the case, then I'm actually going to throw my hands up and say, good job. This was... I had problems with this game. I think the animation is, well, in most cases non-existent. And I think that there wasn't enough on that. It really needed another layer of complexity to really move it on. But, it was enjoyable. It was competent. It was, as a gun-based, indie Diablo clone goes, if this is made by one guy, fair play to him. Oh yeah, and I love this bit. There's a list of all of the different sounds that he used in the game from different places and who submitted them to that place. So, like, Bulbastree submitted the man being hit, ouch, painful, yelling, beat down 2, which is brilliant. Kevin Case submitted 2 different crate breaking sound effects. And I do like the fact that, Pogatron was responsible for the swishes. That's just great. And then you finish with Tito LaHaye, who I think was at the end because he was awesome, who actually, in this game, there's legitimate sound effects from a Smith & Wesson. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, and that's it. There's nothing really left to say. Oh yeah, right, yeah, the beta testers. So they've got 4 people who tested the game, and whether Chris Kane just programs without bugs straight away, was that his name, Chris Kane? I don't know. Or whether, or whether they did a good job. But I have to say, for everything else, not really any bugs in this game. I'd expect, enemies to be spawning in the walls or behind the walls. I'd expect, there to be situations. I mean, I did think that sometimes when guns kind of didn't spread out far enough and you couldn't pick them up, that was pretty terrible. But, yeah. Apart from that, beta testers did a good job. Programmer did a good job. Pity the game wasn't more complex. But yeah, that's Lair of the Evildoer done and dusted. Oh, I've unlocked endless mode. No, I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to cut this just like 10 seconds short from the video time. Oh yeah. Next time, I don't know. I'm just going to carry on with Mass Effect for the minute and do another video when I finish with that. Okay, bye!